something a little bit different for this video. I'm away from the modelling desk and out of the house in very sunny weather in Cumbria, and I'm going to visit something I found on Google Maps. It's not like one of those epic ones where somebody finds something on Google Maps and then disappears on a 3-day trek into the hills and the deserts in America, but should be interesting. I'm a few miles east of Penrith, and if I just turn the camera around, over there is the A66, and in this direction is a very interesting building. There were some problems with the connection of the microphone, and every so often it would just get buzzing so badly I'm going to have to blank the sound out, like this bit here, and drop in and do a little bit of voiceover, or give you some music. That was really a two-handed job, which is tricky when you're holding a camera. There we go. I have a bag, so I'm going to take back some litter with me. Now then, straight on. Field full of sheep. Not completely sure I should be going through this, so I'm just going to stop filming and check the map and see, because maybe I'm meant to be down there. I'm going to go and see if I can walk along the side of the river. If nothing else, it should be a little bit cooler. Down to the river, let's go. Or not, because that looks quite steep ahead of me. We'll see in a second. I get the feeling there's no way back up from this. But I'm here now, let's go and explore. Little local colour. I've found a path. We'll see where this takes me. Beginning to think I made the wrong decision. Beginning to think I should be up there. Don't see any easy way to get up there. Going that way. Should have brought the action camera so you could actually, you know, hear me swear and fall over and all of that. This is not going well. I used to be good at this kind of thing, but I also used to be younger. So I think I need to go back down a little bit and across. I should have just come through the field full of sheep, because I just terrified myself climbing that. Anyway, onwards. Trying not to disturb the sheep. Yeah, go this side of them. Go on. That's it. And there we have it. This is what I've come out to see. This is St Ninians Church. Don't know if it's going to be open to have a look around the inside, but I was intrigued by the fact that there's this old church here in the middle of a field that I'll mess with the edit. Old church here in a field that is really quite tricky to get to. Yeah, well, I mean, unless you follow the directions. So, St Ninians. Let's go and have a closer look. I found this by accident. I was actually looking for something else. Over there, sadly in a direction I can't really get to because I'm pretty sure that's no public right of way. Over there is Hornby Hall, which in the Second World War was an auxiliary landing strip for the RAF, and then towards the end of the war became a prison camp. Over those hills, just over there, there's a little road you can go down part way to Hornby Hall, and there's still some of the original Nissen huts. I presume they're the original Nissen huts. There's still a few of those there, and a building that may have been part of the original camp as well. And then after I'd found Hornby Hall, I spotted this thing in the middle of a field, and it's this. And I figured next time I was in Cumbria, which is today, I'd come up here and have a look and come and visit the church. I don't know if I'm allowed in through this gate. I think I may have to follow the public footpath around and in through a different gate. Let's do a circuit of the church, and then if I don't find another way in, I'll come in through this gate. More litter. I can get my hands to it. I'll take that back and sit in a bit later. Just over this wall, there's an old building that's obviously no roof. Wonder what that was. It's incorporated into the same walls that contain the church, so must have something to do with it. Footpath goes that way, footpath goes that way. I'm going that way. Very intrigued, very intrigued by this. Windows appear to be quite relatively solidly barred. Don't know what it could be. Okay, sheep, I'll give you a wide berth. So I'm going to definitely make the most of the shade whilst I've got some. Quite obviously St Ninians predates the RAF base, but you've got to presume that it had something to do. Well, you've got to presume that it served the base when the base was active, and possibly the prison camp when it was active as well. There's the river just down there, you see. I thought I could maybe follow it round and come back up here, but as you can see, over the years it's carved its way through sandstone, so you've got some sandstone cliffs, and I just came up against one of them and I couldn't go any further. Anyway, this way. Pausing the video here to take a photo for possibly the thumbnail, and back to video. Right, the was no other way in, so this is the gate I'm using. These things are so much easier when you've got two hands free. There we go. These ones, though, that was probably blocked by my arm, but they lock themselves, which is so much nicer than having to fight with them, as I have with various ones on the way here. This is tended to, the path up to the door is tended to, and it looks like a path possibly to whatever this building over here is, or possibly all the way around. It looks like that's tended as well. So let's go to the door and see if it's open. Because the church's information website that I found out a bit more about this place from said the church was open from 10 to 4 every day. Shame there's so many nettles. I'd love to go and have a closer look at some of these gravestones. Unfortunately, looks like all the information on that one's on the other side. I haven't suddenly got religion, but between places like this and all of the shrines in Tokyo, I am becoming more fascinated by religious buildings and the architecture that people have put into praise. And ones with clearly an interesting story, whatever the true, the full story of St Ninians is. Ones with interesting histories. (1841). So not as old as I thought it was. I thought it might be date back to the 1700s. Let's see. I'm betting that it's locked. I'm wrong. I can go in. Okay. Give it a moment for the camera to adjust to the dark, and then let's have a look around the inside. The buzzing on the microphone got so bad at this point that there's almost no audio to recover from when I was walking around the interior of the church and making comments. So here's a little bit of information from the church's Conservation Trust page on the church, which I'll link to down below. This is St Ninians, near Brome in Cumbria, and it's also known locally as Ninekirks. The original Norman church was completely rebuilt in the 17th century by Lady Anne Clifford, who inherited Brome Castle. The restoration work is recorded in the plasterwork above the altar, which gives the date of 1660. And as you'll see around the church, there are also commemorations to other members of the Brome and associated families. I don't know where the 1840 over the front door comes from. Presumably that section was rebuilt in that year. I can't remember everything I said whilst I was in the church, so rather than trying to recall my running commentary, here's a little bit of light music whilst I look around the interior. see, go and have a look around the graveyard down this path here and see if we can get any clues as to what that building is. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to it. It looks like there's a lot of nettles in the way. Well, don't know if it's been properly mown, but it looks like other people have come down here, so somebody's blazed a trail for me. Let's have a look inside. Whatever this here building is. Anybody who knows anything about church architecture, drop a note down below so I can understand what I'm looking at. You can see why this building fell over. Those must have been pretty decent sized trees before they were cut down. There's a shackle in the wall, so maybe it was for livestock. Right, back to traipsing around the graveyard. I imagine there's going to be a fair amount of wind noise over some of my talking. And I've got a dead cat, but actually it's so small it's practically a dead kitten because it's not a very big microphone. It's not a very big microphone. But I don't think I've got it with me, so apologies if you can't hear various bits of this. Oh. There you go. That's a very new one, 2022. And if we go and look at the one behind it, 1872 and 1896. There looks fairly new as well, but whatever commemoration is on it is written on the other side, and I'm not going to fight my way through the long grass to get to it. This door is open. I just couldn't get the leverage on it from the other side. There we go. So this has been an interesting day out in the country. Definitely the kind of thing I recommend you do. Find somewhere that's not so well known locally and go and visit it. Follow the footpaths, don't try to be clever, otherwise you end scrambling up cliffs and yeah, scaring yourself. Always close the gates and never litter, because there's not always someone like me coming around to pick up the rubbish you leave behind. Anyway, that behind me is St Ninians. Interesting little church. Sadly, I don't think I'm going to be able to find out much more about Hornby Hall and the airfield. Don't know if there's an easy way to get onto it, but it's over there somewhere. Okay. My next video I might just be back at the modelling table, who knows, or I might have another rush of blood and go and visit somewhere else. Until next time, have fun. This is why I didn't want to come through the field in the first place. I've accidentally ended up herding sheep. Come on, sheep. Oh, don't panic. I'm very worried about these ones on the wrong side of the fence. Not sure where they're going to go if I keep accidentally driving them along. Yeah, go on. My apologies to the farmer, I really didn't mean to do that. So, accidental sheep rustling aside, that was significantly simpler than the dumb route down there that I took, that I thought would be the easy way. Anyway, this has been fun. I'm now very sweaty. I'm going to go and have a long drink of water and lie down.